Are you getting ready for your next event and you're curious about how you can set your AV up for success? Well, I'm going to tell you it is daily tech checks, and I'm going to explain exactly what they are and why they're so important, and something that any project that I do, if I'm a part of the production, this is a crucial element in our production schedule and our daily on-site schedule. We do this every day. I even do it at my sporting events, any event I work, I promise you. And I'm going to dive into exactly what that is and why you should make sure you do it at your next event. Before we jump into it, I'm Logan Clements. I'm a freelance event producer based in Seattle, Washington, but I execute events here and all over the world. I do want to remind you to like, subscribe, turn on that little notification bell so you get notified every single Monday when I drop new videos. I'm also the co-host of the Better Events podcast with fellow event pro Mary Davidson, where we dive even more into some of these topics that I talk about here on YouTube, more about stage managing, event programming, what does an event planner even do, interviews with some event experts about event engagement, your certified meeting planner certification, all of those. Go listen wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're watching this video and it's still 2024, it's not too late to join us for the Better Events Conference in December 18th and 19th. We are doing one day in person on the 18th, and 19th is virtual 100%, so you can join us from wherever you are. Visit bettereventspod.com/conference or look down in my show notes to learn more. So how do I set myself up for success from a production perspective? I do daily tech checks. Something I see organizers do is they will often do a tech check at the start of their show. So a conference, I'm thinking multiple days. This is how this applies. If you have a multi-day conference, you're probably going to do a tech check once your AV is all set. You're going to do that, and that might be the day before your event or the morning before your first session. But what I'm saying is so crucial, and why some organizations just hire a production agency, because the agency would make sure they did this, but I see my smaller clients aren't even thinking about this. So that's why I wanted to make a video, is you need to be doing this daily. It doesn't matter if it worked the day before, you need to check everything from a tech perspective the morning of. So what does that look like? A daily tech check looks like turning everything on. Turning on your projector or your screens, turning on your mics, turning on your testing your clickers. For audio, this can be everything from actually testing your microphones to also playing any videos that have audio with them. You also want to test your lights, make sure they're doing what they need to be doing, and playing some video files. And this can take anywhere from like 10 to 30 minutes. And my rule of thumb is I often like to do this at least 30 minutes before speakers arrive, or at least an hour before doors open. And why is that? Because I want to leave us time to troubleshoot if something has come unplugged overnight or something's not working. And I say you need to go through and tech all those things because there's multiple points where it could fail, meaning something could not be working the way it's supposed to. And this could be as simple as like overnight, somebody was vacuuming in the ballroom and they kicked a cable. Well, you wouldn't know that unless you tested it. And you really don't want the first time that you're trying some feature of your program or some tech piece of equipment you're using to be when you're live in your event. Because the person vacuuming might not have noticed, and you didn't notice unless you tech it. And I've just found a double check doesn't hurt anybody. It's a great point if you're trying to just remind folks of like, oh, we're using this mic instead of that one today, or it's a new, let's play a video with audio so we can just make sure that works. And why don't you play the new walk-in video for today? And again, that's just a nice cue for your crew of like, all right, yeah, something new, let's play it. Let's make sure not only can you hear the sound, but is the sound synced up to the video? So if you see someone speaking, are their words lining up with their mouth? And it's just, I found that doing something like this, like a tech check, is so important, mainly because, again, you've tested everything before you go live. And so that just gives you that level of confidence that, all right, everything's working. I've tried the clicker. So when I hand it to the speaker and they're about to go on stage, they know, they have the confidence that I've tested it. I have the confidence that I've tested it. So when they go out on stage and all of a sudden it's not working, that's when I'm going to be like, okay, let's like, what happened? You know, what changed between when I handed the clicker to them and they got out there? Maybe the batteries died or the speaker's not handling it correctly. Another good rule of thumb I always do in my tech checks is often if you are doing a multi-day show, let's replace some batteries. Replace the batteries on your clicker, make sure it's fully charged. Replace the batteries on your microphone, just making sure that certain things like help yourself out by doing these checks. And this can apply no matter if you're doing a really big show to even doing like a 100-person single room event. making sure that you build in time with your tech team to say, hey, I want to come in and tech check everything real quick. Like I said, it can take 10 minutes, but it is the best 10 minutes that I've ever tried. And I would not do it 10 minutes before doors. I would do it that minimum an hour before doors or 30 minutes before speakers arrive, whichever gives you just a little more time, because things happen. We all know that at events. And these daily tech checks are just like a nice little daily checklist for yourself of making sure like, yep, everything's tested, works, no adjustments need to be made, everything looks good. And then you have that much more confidence going into your event program. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope you enjoyed this about daily tech checks and you've added them to your on-site checklist. I'm Logan Clements. I'm a freelance event producer based in Seattle, Washington. And I want to thank you for being with me for another one of my videos, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.